The hospital fire escape door swung open with a metallic groan, and Marcus Chen stumbled into the cold November night, gasping for air that felt too thin, too sharp. The city lights below blurred through his exhausted tears as he leaned against the brick wall of Memorial Hospital's 7th floor. He'd come up here to escape, 5 minutes away from the intensive care unit where his 8-year-old daughter Emma fought pneumonia that her weakened immune system couldn't handle. 5 minutes where he didn't have to pretend to be strong, didn't have to smile and say everything would be okay when the doctor's eyes told him otherwise. That's when he heard it. A soft, broken sound that made his blood run cold. Someone was crying on the other side of the rooftop access door. Marcus hesitated, his hand on the door handle. This wasn't his business. He had his own crisis, his own breaking point he was barely holding back from. But something about that sound, desperate, hollow, final, made him push through. The rooftop opened before him and he froze. A young woman stood at the edge, beyond the safety railing. She wore hospital scrubs and her bare feet balanced on the narrow concrete ledge. Even in the darkness, Marcus could see she was heavily pregnant. 7, maybe 8 months. Her whole body trembled against the wind. "Miss!" The word came out strangled. She whipped around, her eyes wild with fear and something darker. "Don't!" she screamed. "Don't come closer. I mean it." Marcus raised his hands instantly, his heart slamming against his ribs. Okay, I'm not moving. I was just up here for some air. Then leave." Her voice cracked. "Just go back inside and forget you saw me. Please." "I can't do that." Marcus kept his voice as steady as he could manage, even as panic clawed at his throat. "You don't understand anything." She turned back toward the drop, her body swaying. "Just leave me alone." "You're right. I don't understand." Marcus slowly lowered himself to sit on the cold rooftop floor, making himself smaller, less threatening. "But I have a daughter downstairs. Emma. She's 8 years old and she's fighting for her life right now because her body doesn't work the way it should. And if something happened to you and I just walked away, I could never look her in the eyes again." The woman glanced back, confusion flickering across her tear-stained face. "I'm not your responsibility." "No, you're not," Marcus agreed quietly. "But you're someone's daughter, someone's friend, and you're about to be someone's mother." At the word mother, the woman released a sob that seemed torn from her soul. Her grip on the edge loosened and Marcus's breath caught. "I can't be a mother," she gasped. "I can't even take care of myself." "That sounds really hard," Marcus said, fighting every instinct to rush forward. "What happened?" She turned slightly, thrown by the gentle question. "Lost my job today. Pregnancy complications, too many doctor appointments. They said I was unreliable. That was after my boyfriend left 3 weeks ago. Told me he wasn't ready to be a father." Her laugh was bitter. "Ready? Like this baby cares if anyone's ready." "Your ex is a coward," Marcus said flatly. "What's your name?" Silence stretched between them. Marcus waited, counting his breaths, watching her shoulders shake. "Sophia," she finally whispered. "Sophia Martinez." "Hi, Sophia. I'm Marcus." He kept his voice conversational, like they were meeting at a coffee shop instead of on a rooftop ledge. "How far along are you?" 31 weeks. Her hand moved unconsciously to her belly. "It's a boy. That's wonderful. Have you picked a name?" Another sob. "Lucas. I named him Lucas." She shook her head violently. "Stupid, right? Planning a future when I have none." "I don't think it's stupid at all," Marcus said carefully. "Sophia, can I tell you something I haven't told anyone?" She turned slightly, just enough to see him. 3 years ago, my wife died. Brain aneurysm. Just collapsed one morning while making Emma's breakfast. She was 32 years old. Marcus's voice cracked. Emma was 5. She watched her mother die on our kitchen floor while I tried to do CPR and screamed for someone to help. Sophia was facing him more now, listening. Emma developed severe anxiety after that. Started getting panic attacks so bad she'd stop breathing. The medical bills. He shook his head. I had good insurance, but therapy isn't covered well. Medications aren't covered well. I had to choose between keeping our house or keeping Emma stable. I chose Emma. You lost your house? Lost the house, moved into a one-bedroom apartment in the worst part of town. Lost friends who couldn't deal with my grief. Lost my job because I missed too many days when Emma was having episodes. Marcus looked at her directly. And you want to know something? I thought about it. Not like this, but disappearing. Starting over somewhere without the weight of all that loss. What stopped you? Sophia whispered. One night, Emma had a nightmare. She grabbed my hand so tight it hurt and said, Don't leave me, Daddy. You're all I have left. Like she could sense how close I was to breaking. Marcus took a careful breath. That's when I realized she didn't need me to be perfect. She just needed me to be there. It's different. Is it? Marcus interrupted gently. You think Lucas won't just need you to be there? You think he'll care about your job or your apartment or whether his father stayed? He'll just need you, Sophia. That's it. Tears streamed down her face. I'm going to be homeless in 10 days. 10 days. What kind of life is that for a baby? A hard one, Marcus admitted. But a life. And life means possibility. It means Lucas gets to exist, to grow, to maybe understand someday why you fought so hard to give him a chance. What if I can't do it? Her voice broke completely. What if I fail him? Then he'll be alive to form his own opinions about it, Marcus said bluntly. Maybe he'll forgive you. Maybe he'll thank you. Maybe he'll be angry. But only if you give him the chance to be anything at all. Sophia looked down at her belly, both hands now resting on it. He's moving. He always moves when I cry. He's telling you he's there, Marcus said softly. He's counting on you. Why? Sophia sobbed. Why do you care what happens to me? Because 3 years ago, I needed someone to care and no one did. Everyone was uncomfortable with my grief, my struggle. They all had advice but no help. No one just sat with me in the darkness. Marcus extended his hand across the space between them. So I'm sitting with you now. I can't promise it'll be easy, but I can promise you won't be alone. Not anymore. You don't even know me. I know you haven't jumped, Marcus said simply. I've been here 15 minutes and you haven't jumped. Part of you is still fighting. That's the part Lucas needs. Sophia stared at him, tears freezing on her cheeks. Then her eyes dropped to her belly and she whispered something too quiet to hear. What? Marcus asked. I said. Her voice broke. I said, promise me he'll be okay. Promise me if I can't do this, you'll make sure someone helps him. I promise, Marcus said without hesitation. But Sophia, you have to choose him first. You have to take my hand. For a moment that felt like eternity, Sophia stood frozen. Then slowly, shakily, she reached out. The moment their fingers touched, Marcus gripped firmly and pulled. Sophia practically fell over the railing into his arms, both of them sinking to the cold rooftop as she sobbed against his chest. I've got you, he whispered. You're safe. Lucas is safe. Sophia cried for what felt like hours. When she finally pulled back, embarrassment flooded her swollen face. I'm sorry. Don't, Marcus said firmly. Don't apologize for being human. Come on, we need to get you inside. When he tried to help her stand, her legs gave out. Without hesitation, Marcus scooped her up, one arm under her knees, the other supporting her back. You don't have to. Yes, I do. Because that's what people do. We carry each other when walking gets too hard. The emergency room was chaos, but Marcus refused to put Sophia down until a nurse brought a wheelchair. As they got her admitted and started on fluids, Marcus reluctantly left to check on Emma. His daughter was sleeping, her small chest rising and falling with mechanical regularity. The oxygen monitor beeped steadily. Better. She was getting better. Marcus returned to the cafeteria, bought a sandwich and juice with money he probably shouldn't spend, and brought it to Sophia's room. "You came back," she said, surprised. "I said I would." He set the food on her tray. "Eat slowly." As Sophia took small bites, Marcus pulled out his phone. "You said you have a degree in nursing, right? And you worked at Riverside General for 3 years before the pregnancy complications. How did you? You're scrubs. And you mentioned working in pediatrics." Marcus was already typing. "Okay, there are programs. Emergency assistance for pregnant women. Housing support. Let me help you apply." "Why are you doing this?" "Because when I needed help, people showed up. A neighbor who left groceries at my door. A coworker who paid Emma's therapy bill anonymously. Now it's my turn." Over the next 2 days, while Emma recovered and Sophia stabilized, Marcus became an expert in social services. He helped her fill out applications, organized her documents, created a plan. "You're really good at this," Sophia said, watching him work. "Numbers make sense. Unlike 8-year-olds who think eating only purple foods is a balanced diet." Sophia laughed. Really laughed. For the first time. On the 3rd day, Emma was well enough for visitors. Marcus brought her to meet Sophia, and his daughter's eyes went wide. "Are you having a baby?" Emma asked with the bluntness of children. "I am," Sophia said, charmed. "In about 2 months. What's his name?" "Lucas." Emma reached out tentatively to touch Sophia's belly, and when the baby kicked against her palm, she gasped. "He moved. There's really a person in there." "There really is," Sophia said softly. "When my mom died," Emma said with devastating childhood honesty, "things were really hard, but Daddy said we just take one day at a time. Maybe you and Lucas can do that too." When Sophia was discharged, she stood in the hospital lobby with nowhere to go. Marcus didn't hesitate. "You're staying with us. We have a pull-out couch. It's not much, but it's warm and safe." "Marcus, I can't." "You can and you will." Emma's already excited about having a sleepover friend. The apartment was tiny, but Sophia had her own corner. Emma immediately began planning where Lucas would sleep when he comes. That first night, Sophia tried to sleep but couldn't. She was shifting quietly when small footsteps approached. "Miss Sophia?" Emma whispered. "Are you scared?" "A little. When I'm scared, I use this." Emma held out her favorite stuffed rabbit. "It helps. And if you need to cry, the bathroom fan is really loud. Daddy doesn't know I know he cries in there sometimes. But I do. It's okay to be sad." Over the following weeks, routine emerged. Sophia helped with Emma while Marcus worked. Marcus helped Sophia with job applications and prenatal appointments. They ate dinners together, sometimes just rice and beans when money was tight. "You don't have to sacrifice your life for me," Sophia said one evening. Marcus looked at her, really looked at her. She'd gained weight, the hollow look leaving her face. "You're not a sacrifice. You're family now. You and Lucas both." Through one of Marcus's connections, Sophia got an interview for a remote case management position with a healthcare startup. The pay was modest, but the flexibility was perfect. When she got the job, Emma cheered so loud it startled Lucas, who kicked in protest. They celebrated with ice cream from the dollar store. Sophia went into labor on a Tuesday morning at 37 weeks. She called Marcus first. "Contractions are 4 minutes apart. I'll be right there. My sister's already here with Emma." If stories like this still mean something to you, don't just scroll. Subscribe and stay for the next one. The drive to the same hospital where they'd met felt surreal. Marcus held Sophia's hand through 8 hours of labor, coached her breathing, let her squeeze until his fingers went numb. When Lucas finally arrived, 6 pounds, 2 ounces of perfect, the nurse asked if the father wanted to cut the cord. "He's not," Sophia started. "Yes," Marcus said firmly. "Yes, I do." When the nurse placed Lucas in Sophia's arms, they both looked at this tiny life that had brought them together. "What's his full name?" the nurse asked. Sophia looked at Marcus. "Lucas James Chen." Marcus's head snapped up. "Chen? But that's—" "I know it's forward," Sophia said quickly. "But if it wasn't for you, he wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. And I thought if you wanted, he could be yours too. In whatever way feels right." Marcus leaned down and kissed her forehead. "I love you. Both of you. We love you too. All of you." Emma's reaction the next day was everything. She'd made Lucas a card with her careful printing. "Welcome home, Lucas." "He's really small," Emma observed, touching his tiny fingers. "But I'll teach him everything. How to be brave and how to laugh when you're scared and which vegetables you can hide under your mashed potatoes." The first months were hard. Lucas had colic. Sophia walked the apartment at 2 a.m. while Marcus joined her through the thin walls. Emma fetched diapers with big sister pride. One exhausting night, Sophia looked at Marcus and said, "What if I can't do this?" Marcus took the crying baby from her arms. "You're not failing. You're learning, and we're doing it together. This isn't even your responsibility." "Sophia," he stopped her with her name. "Everything about you and Lucas is my choice. Stop trying to push me away. You're not a burden. You're a gift." Summer turned to autumn. Marcus saved for 3 months to buy a simple ring. He proposed on the hospital rooftop, now renovated into a healing garden. "This is where everything changed," he said, dropping to one knee while Emma held baby Lucas. "This is where I found you. Where you found me." Sophia said yes through tears. The wedding was small, held right there on the rooftop as the sun set. Sophia's vows. "Marcus, you taught me that not today doesn't mean not ever. When I stood on that edge convinced I had nothing, you saw something I couldn't. You didn't just save my life that night. You gave me a reason to live it." Marcus's vows. "Sophia, you taught me that broken doesn't mean unfixable. That families are made by choice, by showing up, by saying not today to giving up. You and Lucas didn't just complete our family. You made us whole." As they kissed, Emma cheered and Lucas, now 10 months old, clapped his chubby hands, and the setting sun painted everything golden. 3 years later, Marcus stood on that same rooftop, now a memorial garden. A small plaque had been installed. "Not today, in honor of all who chose tomorrow." Emma, now 11, held Lucas's hand as the 3-year-old tried to catch falling leaves. Sophia stood beside Marcus, her hand in his, her other hand resting on her belly where their third child grew. "Do you ever think about that night?" she asked. "Every day," Marcus admitted. "Every time I watch Lucas laugh or see Emma teaching him something new or feel this baby kick, I think about how close we came to none of this existing." "Thank you," Sophia whispered, "for not walking away. Thank you for not jumping." Lucas ran over, leaves clutched in his fists. "Daddy, look, I caught them." Marcus scooped up his son, this miracle child who existed because 2 broken people found each other at exactly the right moment. "You did, buddy. You caught them." Emma joined them, wrapping her arms around Sophia. "Are we going to tell Lucas about how you and Dad met?" "Someday," Sophia said, "when he's old enough to understand that the worst moments sometimes lead to the best futures. And that not today is the most powerful thing you can say," Marcus added. They stood together as a family as the sun set, painting the sky in shades of hope. Because not today didn't mean never feeling pain or never struggling. Not today simply meant there's still tomorrow. And tomorrow, as it turned out, was worth everything. If you're standing on your own edge right now, metaphorical or literal, please hear this. Not today. Whatever you're facing, whatever darkness is whispering that there's no way forward, resist it. Just for today. Someone needs you, even if you haven't met them yet. Someone's tomorrow might depend on yours. Not today doesn't mean never pain. It just means there's still tomorrow. And tomorrow might hold something you can't imagine yet. You might be someone's Marcus. You might be the voice that whispers not today when someone is ready to give up. Or you might be Sophia, convinced you have nothing to offer, not knowing that your tomorrow holds love you can't yet see. Either way, not today. Tomorrow is worth the fight.